Today, our verse is Exodus 22, verse 22. You shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. After giving the Ten Commandments to the people of Israel in Exodus 20, the laws are expanded and explained to the people. While the Ten Commandments speak generally about the love of God and their fellow human beings, the specific laws explain in very concrete ways how that love of God and neighbor should be lived out. Exodus 22, 21 to 27 describe laws protecting some social groups in the Israelite society, the foreigners, widows, orphans, and the poor from exploitation. These groups of people were the most vulnerable in the society. Our verse focuses on the widows and orphans. The widow, almanah in Hebrew, was a woman whose husband had died. In the Israelite society then, she had no right to own any property and therefore was dependent on public charity. The orphan, yatham in Hebrew, was a fatherless child. It did not necessarily mean a child who had lost both parents. The child could have a mother, but because the mother was a widow and was not entitled to any property, the child was treated as an orphan. The widow and fatherless children must not be mistreated. Verses 23 and 24 add a penalty for mistreating the widow and orphan. It says, if you do mistreat them and they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will burn, and I will kill you with a sword, and your wives shall become widows, and your children fatherless. Exodus 22, 23 to 24. Because these people are vulnerable and have no support from a man in society, they can only turn and cry to God for help. The punishment for mistreating the widow and orphan is severe. Those who mistreat the widows and orphans will die in battle, so that their wives and children also become widows and orphans. Social laws should protect everyone in the society, but most significantly the vulnerable. Many developed countries have social welfare schemes for their citizens. This is not the same in many developing and poor countries. These developing and poor countries could do better if they channel their resources for the good of all. The big problem is leadership, where politicians corner the resources of the people into their own private accounts, leaving vulnerable people to languish in pain and agony. As Christians and as a church, we must speak out against social injustices and match our cries with actions. The church must be seen to also take care of the vulnerable within their communities. As individuals, those of us who have more must share our resources with those who do not have, especially the widows and orphans in our midst. Lord, open our eyes to the cries of the widows, orphans, and poor people around us. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a pleasant day.